This is our hotel room.
What's up? What's up? Hello. My name is Bonnie.
And I'm Mickey.
And we are in a band called Stand Atlantic. It was awesome. We were like nervous that, actually, I don't know. We weren't really actually nervous. We kind of just didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Because we've never played here before.
We didn't know like what it would be like, what the vibe would be or anything,
Yeah.
but it was so fun. It was sweaty, it was hot.
People were into it, and yeah. The worst part was when we walked off stage and then went outside. We were just even hotter than we were, and it was the grossest feeling ever. We were just like, oh no, there's no relief from feeling hot.
We were saying yesterday, it's like usually when you're hot in the venue, you go outside for like some fresh air. But it was the opposite. We went outside and we were like, oh my god, we had to go inside for fresh air.
To go back inside.
Yeah. We went to, oh god, I wish I remember the name. It was the temple. I think it was called like, what? Oh god, what
was it the King and Queen's temple or something?
Yeah.
One Pagel.
That's it, I think. Yeah.
Royal Palace.
Yeah. So we went to the Royal Palace. We went to the MBK Mall. We went to eat a lot of Thai food.
Yes.
We also went to eat Japanese food.
It was really good to be fair.
Yeah. I don't know. And to be honest, we've just been swimming and relaxing.
Trying to stay cool the entire time. Love it. Love it.
So good.
The best.
We've tried so much stuff. Half of it I don't even remember the name, but we've tried so much. And then obviously we've tried the classics. We've had Tom Yum. We've had Pad Thai, Pad See Ew. We have to try. I want to get khao soi before we leave, and that's what probably I'll get today. And McDonald's. I want McDonald's.
We said,
blackmail.
Hurry up and get on it. Well, we met Paris on the Sad Summer Tour back in 2023, and we became friends. And then we sent her the song, and she really liked it. And I was like, can you please be on it? Because I love it, and I think you would suit her. And then she said yes, and then we were tossing up the idea of getting like a third person on there, just because the song is so like about like empowerment, like for women and stuff like that. And we thought it would be cool to have like a third person, and there was space for it. Bruises was one of the artists that came up, and I think we knew of her before. And we'd like played a couple of her songs like just in the vans and stuff, and we were like, it's pretty sick actually, it's cool. And I have no idea what she's singing because I don't speak Spanish, but it sounds mad. And then we were like, it'd be so sick for her to like come on the song. We asked her, she said yes, and then the rest is history. She killed her part.
The funny part about that is actually, I didn't even think about it. Like when she sent her part, I was like, this sounds so sick, and I'd like listen to it, and I never even thought like, I wonder what she's saying. And then when our music video came out with the translation subtitles, I was like, oh, that's what she's saying.
Yeah.
For ages.
That's cool. To be honest, I can't really remember.
I think we did it as a joke on the demo, and then we just kind of kept it because we were like, and there was like lots of money.
It does tie into the whole theme of like just selling like women just for like that whole like sex sells kind of thing. I think is kind of what I was getting at. But then it was kind of just a joke that just continued on. Now it's just there.
Well, I think you can tell just from those 4 songs that like, I don't even think there's a direction. I don't think it's like, oh, this is the new Stand Atlantic sound, because like Sex on the Beach, and it was like, oh, they've gone like weird now, but then we released Warzone, and everyone's like, oh, they're a heavy band now. The new album's heavy, and then we released, can't remember what we released, but Girls or whatever, and everyone's like, oh, it's a pop album now, but it's like, can't you guys see the trend? There's a trend, like
the trend is that there's no trend, and you can't judge the entire album off of like any of the songs.
Yeah, so
on any of the songs off the
in
album.
terms of is it going to be different to the last few albums? Well, I feel like all of our albums are kind of different.
Yeah, I agree. And we've said from the start, like we never wanted to be a band that just like gets boxed into a corner stylistically. And I think on this album we just did that again. Like we're just doing the same thing. We're just like pushing the boundaries each album. And
we kind of just write the songs, and if it sounds good, it goes on. Like the genre doesn't really matter. And there's songs on this new album that could probably fit on Pink Elephant or Skinny Dipping anyway. So there's stuff like that on there, just because we wrote it and it sounds cool. And
it's
there's
cool.
songs that don't sound like it fits in our set list at all. But
it's really interesting to have like this album is just so diverse that it's really hard to kind of like explain what it's gonna be like. But yeah, people are just gonna have to like listen to the album to
and there'll be something for everyone.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. That is a crazy question.
Which part?
Yeah, the writing takes the longest. We wrote, Killer we wrote in 2020 and Warzone.
2022.
We wrote in 2022 in LA. So that gives you some idea of like just how long it's been since we've like been writing this, and it's like over certain sections of time. We spent like a month in Manchester writing a bunch of the album as well in 2023. And then we spent more in Sydney.
So yeah, writing was like 2 years.
2 years.
Warzone changed so much. It used to be called See You Next Tuesday.
Yeah, which cool. I missed the title, to be honest.
And then the actual recording was, 5 weeks maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, the actual recording was about 5 weeks.
But writing it took 2 years.
Yeah, and then if you want to include the boring stuff like mixing and mastering, probably like, 2 years in the making.
Yeah.
I know, I got one. It's not much it's to do with the album, but when we were shooting the front cover, we were all put in a puddle of fake blood, and every single one of us were like, wee! As we dragged us down. And then they were like, okay, act dead. And we had to go, wee!
And I choked on fake blood, coughed it up, it was pretty funny.
And people keep asking, and it smelled like chocolate and...
Tasted really good.
Smelled like chocolate and dish detergent. Yeah. What about the actual album, though?
About the actual album, I don't know. I just think this is probably like the most like raw and vulnerable I've had to be lyrically on an album in a while, I think. Because I was like... I kind of numbed myself for a bit, and this album I definitely had to like dig deeper and really kind of talk about some things that I never thought I would ever talk about. So yeah, I don't know. It's a bit scary for me. So please buy it.
What do we
sit
do?
in our bunk and rot.
Yeah, lie down
rot.
and just scroll on Instagram.
Yeah.
What do? We
always try and go somewhere nice to eat or something in each city and find some like, I don't know, we like to go shopping as well.
We do. These guys like to play card games. I don't really like card games. But they love playing card games. Yeah.
They're so good.
God,
try to find fun bars. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we just kind of like, we get up, we try and get some good food, we like hang out, play some games, and then after the show we think we're gonna do something, but then we just go,
so tired.
And then we just go to bed. Especially on the long tours, I feel like if it's a short tour, we'll have more fun, but like on those like 6-7 week tours, like if you don't pace yourself, I feel like you just burn out. So
yeah, that's true.
And especially now that we're
nice
like
nights out and fun times. Like
I feel like now that we're like 6 years, whatever, into touring, it's like I feel like we know how to pace ourselves a bit better than like the first few tours where we'd like always try and
went
do
out
something
every night,
and everyone would be
like,
so tired and we'd play bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, boring.
We're just trying to have fun. It's just a big slumber party the entire time.
Slumber party.
Summer camp.
We share one big bed.
We just share one big bed. And we go night night.
Night night.
I think when I was growing up it meant so much because I felt like it was the music that I really, really resonated with and made me feel like this is like I don't know, it kind of made me feel outcasted and like I belonged at the same time, which is kind of crazy, but none of my friends really listened to it, and so I was the only one, but it like gave me some kind of sense of like community without physically having that around me, which was weird. But now I like barely listen to it, so I'm like, it really like helped me like figure out like who I was, and like as I was like kind of like figuring myself out growing up, I think it was like super important to me. And like my favorite band growing up was Blink-182, and yeah, it just kind of like spiraled from there. So yeah. I've actually never had to talk about that before, and that all just came straight out of my mouth, so that's crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of the same as you. Like, I grew up listening to it. I feel like these days, as bad as it is to say, like, I feel like I don't listen to much music anymore. Like, well, especially
so
like
much
on
music.
like planes and stuff, sure, but like after kind of recording an album at least, and you've been listening to songs so much and like doing stuff like that, I'm just like, oh my god, like I need to rest my brain. Just listen to a podcast or something. But yeah, I grew up going to, you know, Good Charlotte, Simple Plan, like all the classics, Blink-182, like and even nowadays, like obviously because we tour with kind of bands like that, sometimes like when I hear a song, like it's really nostalgic.
100%.
It's really just like, wow, it's like so
and you're
fun.
like, damn, this actually slaps.
And like I'll say, I know like we get put in the pop punk bubble a lot, but I think musically, even though we're not really pop punk anymore, well, I don't think we are. I think we're gonna try everything. There's songs that are pop punk, but like, because we try, as we said before, we try everything. But like, you definitely can still hear the influences in all our songs. Even like songs like
100%.
Girls, like
It's
when those
hard
drums
not to,
come in on like the second verse, that's like, you can hear the influences that we put in to it. So I feel like it's just woven into our identity just from...
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, like you're your own person, but you are also your, like you still look like your mom and your dad, but you're still your own person.
Yeah,
is the
that's
only
how
way I can describe it.
Mark and Tom are my parents.
Yeah.
Is our band's parents.
We love you. We love you.
We love you, and we've tried so hard to learn some Thai, and
It's so hard.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not even gonna try. But I love the bows.
Yeah, they're sweet.
And I'm gonna say thank you, but not in Thai, because when I try, everyone just looks at me weird because you're not doing it right.
Thank you for having us, though. I want to come back ASAP.
Yeah,
It's so
I'm
cool
excited.
here. It's mad. Everyone's so sweet.
ขอบคุณครับ See, that was really long, so